Okay, in this tutorial we're going to look at simple animation techniques that you can do, 3D animation techniques that you can do using Blender. So we're just going to do the complete absolute basic where we get text flying in and then going out, and then also text coming from the top to the bottom. Okay, so we're going to look at simple text that we can look at. Okay, firstly you need to make sure you have your text on the screen. Then you need to switch to camera view. Okay, let's lock the camera view, and we're going to make sure we're going to place this text right in the center of the camera. So zoom in. Okay, so just go, oops, sorry. Let's move that right in the center. Just scroll that in. Okay, so here's my text right in the center. Okay, so once you've done that, what we're going to do now is firstly I'm going to go to frame 10. Okay, I'll tell you why in a second. I'm going to go to frame 10. I'm going to push I, that's I for India, on the keyboard. Make sure my cursor is actually in view. Okay, and then I'm going to click on location. So what I've done now is inserted a keyframe at frame 10. So at the bottom here, you'll see a yellow line up here, which is a keyframe. I'm going to go to frame 20, and I'm going to do that same thing again. So click I, click on location. Okay, so between frames 10 and 20, this word animation will be on the screen. What I can do now is, what I'm going to do is go to frame 0, and at frame V0, so the start of frame 0, what I want is this word animation to appear off the screen. So I'm going to move it off the screen. Then what I'm going to do, press I, and once again click on location. Then I'm going to go to frame 30 this time. I'm going to move this to the other side. Once again push I. Okay, so what that has done now, if I come back here and press play, I've created a simple animation where I've got my text coming from the left and going off at the right. Okay, so that's one thing you do. Okay, you can do, what else you can do is at the same time, at frame 30, you can have another text on your screen. So I'm going to insert new text. So Shift A, text, rotate on the x-axis 90 degrees, and what I'm going to do is edit a text. Just give it a name, up and down. Okay, once again I'm going to extrude it to what I think is suitable, 0.05, depth 0.05, resolution 5. Oops, sorry. Okay, so I'm going to place this text now in the center. Okay, so once again I'm going to do the same thing again, not at frame 30. Notice how the yellow keyframes have now gone. The reason for that is because you are no longer selected on the first text, you selected the second text. So at the second text, what I'm going to do is go to frame 40. I'm going to insert a keyframe. I to insert a keyframe. Okay, I'm going to go to frame 50, I insert a keyframe. Okay, purposely what I've done is gone to frame 48 because I've made a mistake. So if you want to delete a keyframe that you accidentally inserted, what you can do is press Alt, 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 Shift, and A. Hold up, sorry, let me just go back to it. Sorry, I'm going to go to keyframe, I'm going to push Alt and I. Okay, and then click on delete frame, and that will delete that keyframe, and it's no longer there. So I'm just going to go to frame 50 now. Make sure it's in the correct place. Press I, location. Now what I'm going to do is go to frame 30, because that's when the other one's gone off, and I'm going to get this text and I'm going to move it down. And then I'm going to push I, location, go to frame 60, now do the opposite, move it up, I, location. Now if you were to test that animation out, as you can see, animation goes in, up, down, left, right. So that's how you do simple animation techniques in Blender. Okay, obviously you need to put your surfaces on. Once you put the surface on, you can actually render it and you can look at the animation. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop that right there. Just going to add the surface now. So to the letter A, go to my materials, new, change it to cycles render. Okay, diffuse, I'm going to pick a color. So I'm just going to pick this blue here. Goes up and down text, once again, diffuse, pick a color, do red for that. Okay, what else am I going to do? I'm going to obviously move the light. So to move the lamp, go to right view, scroll out. Okay, get the lamp, press press G to move it in front of the camera. Okay, go back to camera view. Okay. Now if we were to go on this keyboard here, press F12 to preview this. Okay, so that's what it looks like as a preview. So yep, that's it. That's quite cool. Okay, what you can do as well, change the light. So the light source size, I'll make it 10. Strength 500. We would preview that now. Slightly brighter. Okay, so you just need to. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to render this now and show you a preview of what we've compiled. Alright, okay, actually, you know what, I'm just going to show you how to render it. So just like before, make sure you change it, go to render button, change that to an MPEG. Okay, you've got no sound on it, so you don't need to encode it. Change the sampling to, I'm just going to leave it at 10 now because I want a quick render. And that's it, press render. So, okay, so once it's rendered, I'll just come back. Okay, so now that's rendered, we can play the rendered video. So play rendered video. Okay, so as you can see, simple animation techniques using Blender. What you can do for animation, obviously this looks a bit slightly faster. You could always slow it down by adding more frames and making them last a bit longer. So that one's 10 frames, so this one goes up 10 frames. What you can do is make it last 15 frames or 20 frames, up to you. Okay, so next we're gonna so have a look at other tutorials on different animation techniques that you can use in Blender.